Hello, welcome to Kim and Friends, where we laugh through the chaos, cry whenever the hell we feel like it, and always keep it real. Because as women, the conversations we have and the stories we share behind closed doors need to be heard out in the wild. I'm Kim, and I appreciate you taking the time to listen today. I really hope something resonates with you. Hey friends, welcome back. Happy Tuesday. I feeling a little silly today. This one's kind of silly, but I spoke in my first Minisode about all of the trials and tribulations that I have been through since end of October, beginning of November with my car. So quick recap. It had 100,000 miles. So there was a decent amount of preventative maintenance that it needed to have. Got a new timing belt. Very expensive. Fine. I'm going to drive this car for forever. Got to take care of it. Had the car back for 2 days. Sister Pam backed into it. Door, side panel. Had to get it fixed. Put it in the shop mid-December. It was the holidays, working back and forth between the communication with the auto body shop and the insurance company was like snail's pace. Took 3-ish weeks, give or take, to get the car fixed. While it was in the shop, I had a rental. The rental I had, the battery died. Had to jump through a bunch of hoops with Enterprise to get a new rental car. Got my car back early-ish January, maybe the 8th. And then January 16th, I think, I don't know, it was a Thursday. Couple weeks later, I got rear-ended by an uninsured motorist. Let's all just pause and laugh. Seriously, does it ever end? So got rear-ended. The guy didn't have insurance. It was not it was a fender bender. My airbags didn't deploy or anything. Goose was in the car with me, which is always a little more stressful when you have your kid in the car with you when you get in a wreck. And the guy was a righteous asshole. So that was its whole own experience. And a real mind fuck when you're put in those situations where you're I'm a woman and I am smaller than this person and he is really losing his temper and my kid's in the car and you get into that de-escalation mode. And then you question how you handled it because why didn't I get all up in his grill and call him an asshole for driving around without insurance and scream and yell at him the way he was stomping and yelling and screaming. But I was scared. And it became more important to keep myself and my son safe and just get the fuck out of there. So anyway, got rear-ended, just put it through my insurance. I did get the guy's name and phone number. I did take a picture of his plate. Daniel, under no circumstances, wanting me to have any communication with him at all. He also was I will not be communicating with him because I don't want to go to prison. I thought that was a good choice, that my husband and the father of my children not go to prison. And it was kind of hot the way he was I don't want you even communicating with that guy at all. So yeah. We just put it through our insurance, paid the deductible, got it fixed. I was in a little bit of denial for a little while. I just drove around with a janky trunk and bumper. But then finally got that all taken care of. And I have my car back as of like last Thursday. And it feels so good to be back in my car, y'all. She just fits like a glove. And I had been driving my father-in-law's truck, which is fine. I'm so fortunate that I had access to another vehicle to drive. So fortunate that all that money that they give you to use for a rental, I was able to use towards my deductible instead. So it didn't cost us nearly as much to get the car fixed. But I do a lot of driving, y'all. I'm back and forth between 2 different studios, coaching classes, picking kids up, I'm dropping them off, I'm taking them to piano, to taekwondo, to singing lessons, well, Daniel mostly does soccer, but I'm going to soccer games, back and forth. I mean, a lot of driving. So I'm back in my car and I have a whole new appreciation for her. And it got me to thinking about when I first got her and what I named her and why, and about how it was really just like almost like a knowing. And she's like, her name fit her so perfectly when I first got her. And it's just since 2020, when I got her, it is just like played out and continued to just be the perfect name for her. So let me get to my point. I drive a 2017 Honda Accord. This is the 3rd Honda Accord I have had. I love Honda Accords. My first one was a 94, and it was my mom's car, and then she got a new car and gave it to me. My second one was, I want to say like a 2006. Was none of these were brand new, all used. And she was sleek. This was pre-Daniel, pre-kids. I was with my ex-husband. I was never going to have kids. And it was a coupe. So it was like a 2-door silver Honda Accord, fully loaded, sunroof, nice fin on the back, spoiler. Is that what that's called? Had a spoiler. And I loved that car. And she stayed with me all the way through leaving my ex-husband, getting with Daniel, having Edna, and moving to Wyoming. And I don't know how much you know about Wyoming weather, but coupe, Honda Accord, not the best for like the winter road situation in Wyoming. Also, I had a growing child and a 2-door, also not great. So I ended up getting an SUV. I got a Nissan Pathfinder, drove that for a little while. It was fine. I'm not an SUV girl. I'm a car girl. Like Daniel drives a big ass truck. I love to drive his truck from time to time. I love that we have a truck and I can like use it to go like get all the shit I find on Facebook Marketplace, or if I get a wild hair and want to go to Home Depot and get a bunch of lumber and build something in one of my kids' rooms. It's great. But day to day, I want to zip around in a car. So then we moved back from Wyoming. I needed something smaller. I was going to have another kid. I got a Toyota Camry, probably my least favorite car I've had, not because it was a Camry, but I just like got into it really quick and I didn't like think it through. It was more like function. So it was like this weird gold color, which just wasn't for me. It was a good little car. It worked out. So fast forward to 2020, I find out that that car is going to need a new transmission. And it was just like not worth it to invest in a new this car. We get to the end of 2020, and I feel like some of you might sympathize with this feeling. Bucks left to give at the end of 2020 beyond what was happening in all of our lives, with sheltering in place, not being able to spend as much time with friends and family, dealing with kids at home that were trying to like do virtual learning and homeschooling, in and out of work. What are the restrictions at work? What can we do? Do we have to mask? Do we not have to mask? So that in and of itself made 2020 a taxing year for everyone in this country. But then in October of 2020, my 14-year-old Chihuahua passed away that I have a tattoo of on my shoulder. That was my ride or die. Loved no one in this world but me. And that was like, of course, it's 2020. And I'm going to lose my best dog friend. So that takes us to December, and I'm like, I'm not paying to get a new fucking transmission in this car that I don't really like anyway. I'm getting a new car, and I'm getting a silver Honda Accord. I want to get back to myself. I want a silver Honda Accord again. God damn it. So, and this is me all on my own. Like, I'm like doing all the research. I tried like all those online things like Carvana. I went to like 3 different dealerships. There was literally like 4 different Honda Accords that I like started the process on and ended up walking away from it because I knew I wanted it was 2020. So I was looking for something like 2016, 2017, low mileage. And I wanted bells and whistles. I wanted to have, just like I had before, my leather seats, my sunroof. The one I had before, the coupe, was a 4-cylinder turbo. So it was pretty zippy. So I knew I wanted either a 6-cylinder or a 4-cylinder turbo. And I knew what I wanted my payments to be. And I was not going to budge. I was going to find the place, the car, the dealership that was going to make this happen for me in this like no fucks left to give sort of headspace. I mean, I was walking away from deals over like $45 difference in the payment. I was like, no, it's not what I want. Fuck it, I'm out of here. So found this 2017, and she has everything. Black leather, silver, 4-door now instead of a 2-door. Makes more sense to my family. But like sunroof, 6-cylinder, fully loaded, all the bells and whistles. She was beautiful. She is beautiful still. And sat at the dealership for like, oh God, isn't buying cars just the worst? Sat at the dealership for entirely too long, sitting across from this annoying man that just is continuously telling me how we're not even making any money off of this. You're getting a great deal. And I'm like, finally was like, well, if I'm getting such a great deal and no one's making any money right now, sure seems like y'all would be getting me out of here a little bit quicker than you are. I mean, I was like hangry, exhausted, annoyed, but finally got the numbers where I wanted them. Finally got my silver Honda Accord, black leather interior, sunroof, chef's kiss. And I get her home, and I'm like, this is my Jane Fonda the Honda. I was like, you know, she's not brand new anymore, but she is classy, and she knows who she is, and she doesn't try to be anything she isn't. She's got all the bells and whistles. I was like, yeah, that's it. Jane Fonda the Honda. And that name has served her really well. It's been a really great name. And then when I got her back just recently, after all of this like fiasco since she had 100,000 miles, I started seeing like all the parallels between Jane Fonda and my car. So she got up towards 100,000 miles. She needed some maintenance. She needed a little work. And Jane's had some work, some nips, some tucks, some adjustments. They've gotten under her hood, adjusted some things, just like my Jane Fonda the Honda. And then I don't know if any of y'all are familiar with her documentary that came out a couple of years ago, but it's Jane Fonda in 5 acts. So she's like in her 5th act, right? And now I feel like I'm like heading into a new act, and Jane Fonda the Honda is Jane Fonda and I both are stepping into a new act. Me with like being in my 40s, having a daughter that's in high school. I'm sort of in this like next act, and Jane Fonda is moving into this next act with me. And what I will say is, though, that I'm really hoping that this is like maybe a 3rd act and not a 5th, because Jane Fonda's Carfax is messy. 2 collisions in 2 months. Yeah, we're going to need to get more than just 1 more act out of her. I'm going to need 2, maybe even 3 more acts, and maybe 2 or 3 more acts out of me as well. Anyhow, I thought that was funny. I was excited to share it with y'all today. Hope you're having a wonderful Tuesday, and you can look forward to the long overdue Dr. Jenny is going to be on next week, giving us all kinds of great advice and all kinds of great information. Love y'all. See you next week.